I'm a slave for your kicks, come and give me a fix. I'm addicted to you.
Sup, ladies and gentlemen, this is Royal Republic, you're watching Viva TV.
And I stick like glue when I'm sniffing you. I'm addicted to you.
In order to do something like really well, really good, passionate, and all the way, you need to piss somebody off. That's just the way it is.
Actually, now that I think of it, it's kind of how this band started for me. It was one of those situations because I was on the Academy of Music in Malmö and I didn't like it. I didn't want to be a teacher and I quit and I started this band instead. There you go. The songs were written before we went into the studio, before we went to Berlin. Though we had a couple of different options to go to. They were talking about LA, they were talking about doing it in Malmö or Stockholm, and then Berlin came up. And just felt like a really good place to be at the time. We have a lot of business here. We've spent a lot of our time here just working and doing promo. Our management's here. And also the producer, Michael Ilbert, who we did this album with. He's originally from Gothenburg, Sweden. But he has a studio at Hansa, and when we got the opportunity to play Hansa, it was just totally, let's do it. There was not a doubt in my mind.
When you don't get to go home and it never stops rolling really, and it's really hard. You can't stop it, you know. You're just on this train, and if you're sick or if you're having a really bad day, or maybe it's just all too much, and yeah, it's really hard to get out of.
But it's also a lot of fun being on the road, being in a band. It's a lot of fun too, right, guys?
I am addicted to you. I am addicted to you. I'm a slave for your kicks, come and give me.
The best thing to basically keep the peace is just shut up and keep to yourself.
Stay in your bunk all day and you're safe.
Stay in the dark and never come out or we will kill you. No. I think by this time we know each other pretty well. We spent, I've spent more time with Hannes than I spend with my family and my friends at home. Hannes spends more time with me than he does with his wife. That says one or two things. Maybe three. But we're like a family. Like it's like a family. The whole tour party is just like a big family right now. Our record company, when we first signed them, they were a bit pissy with us because we were too normal. Like, because we're not remarkable and we're not special and we don't do crazy shit. We don't do drugs and we don't, fuck up hotel rooms and we don't burn houses down. We just play rock and we do it well, and that's our trademark. We focus on the music and everything else is just like whatever, it's there, but it's not the reason we're in a band. Coming home is weird most of the time. You dream about going home. When you've been on the road for like 3 months, you just want to go home and you plan all the stuff you're going to do when you get there. But when you finally do, it's like, just like go to sleep for a week, then like you have a list, like to-do list, like call mom, call dad, do this, like do laundry, buy food, write new songs, answer 10,000 emails, and it's pretty, it's like you want to go home, but then when you've been home for 3 days, it's like, I gotta get back on the road, I gotta get back on the road. It's really addictive, if you know what I mean.